Welcome to Stitchology. I usually do video tutorials, but with the lockdowns and my 4 kids at home, video recording is kind of crazy. Anyhow, I wanted to show you how to upcycle a worn out bedsheet. This bedsheet had a giant hole in the middle and it was really thin all the way around, so I could only use the outside edges. So as we go through this slideshow, feel free to pause the video as needed and also head over to my website over here, stitchology.ca, to get a downloadable PDF copy of this slideshow. So I decided to make some cozy pajamas pants for my daughter. This was super easy to do, and including stopping to take pictures all the time, it only took part of an evening. Okay, so this was a fitted bed sheet, so I cut off the elastic casing. Then also there was the seams that form the corners, so I cut along those seams too, so that everything lay flat. This elastic was still in good shape, and so I stitch ripped it. That took a while, and I used it in the waistband that still had a decent amount of stretch, so that worked. I had this pattern for some elastic waist pants. I left out the tie right there. I left that out. You could also trace around a pair of pants that fit you well. The most important part to trace is the crotch curve line. So I traced the pattern directly onto the bedsheet. You can see the lines here. They're a little, it's hard to see on my video or on the picture. Anyway, since I sewed in the evening, it was a little bit dark. Anyway, so it took a bit of playing to get the pattern laid out well and to avoid the worn out areas. Also, the cutouts from the corners. So make sure you have a right and left side or mirrored pieces of both the front and the back. Here's the picture of the pieces I got out of the bedsheet. Remember, they were cut out of a folded bedsheet, and so there are 2 mirrored pieces of each one. So the back and the front. There's because of the cutout, I had to do this. These were cut out from the one edge of each piece. And so first I cut out like a capri length, and then I added a little bit extra for the leg length. So I started by sewing, I started out by attaching the pant leg extensions to each leg piece right here. So remember to sew right sides together, and because these pants were super roomy, the seam allowance size wasn't so important. Whatever seam allowance size you decide on, just be consistent. You just always do the same. Okay, so when I read questions in social media groups, many people want to know what the right way to sew something is. The truth is there are so many ways to sew something. Many of them are good. Some might be better than others, but don't be afraid to experiment. Use creativity and sew in a straight line. I did something new here. I'm like the princess and the pea, and those lumps and bumps when I'm trying to sleep, they actually hurt. And so I wanted these seams to lay nice and flat as possible. So I sewed the seam first with a straight edge, and then I zigzagged over this part here. Funny, my pen there. See, I zigzagged over there with my just my regular sewing machine. And so it caught both sides of the seam and it lay really flat. And then this is the right side. So it looks cute on the outside and it lays flat on the inside, and so it's comfortable. Oh, lots of directions here. I see all of them over here. Okay, and also these ones. Okay, but basically you're going to sew the fronts together at the center front, which is the crotch seam right there. Then you're going to sew the backs together at the center back, also, which is also the crotch seam. You finish both sides how you like. I zigzag them flat again. Then you put your fronts and your backs together, and you sew both outside seams. So these are the outside seams. You're going to sew them. Finish the edges like you like. I also, like I said, Princess and the Pea, I zigzag them flat. Okay? Okay, you're so close to being done. Now you're going to sew your inseam. So make sure you line up and match the center front and center backs. You want to match these nicely, and then you're going to sew all the way around. So starting from the bottom of one leg, you're going to sew up and around and back down again to the other bottom of the leg. Okay, so match this. And then, so I ran out of gray thread, and so I didn't want to have a different color thread on the outside of these pajama pants. So I just finished the inseam with my serger. So see, there's no stress. There's a time for making sure everything is perfect, and then there's a time to relax the rules and just get the thing done and enjoy the process. Okay, so this is your waistband. First, you're going to sew your side seams of your waistband. That's here. You're going to leave an opening so that you can put your elastic through. You're going to fold your waistband in half lengthwise. I don't have a good picture here, but that's what you're going to do. And you're going to sew the waistband to your pants, the right sides together, matching your side seams. And also finish that seam allowance. So over here, so first on the inside, I zigzagged or I serged, can't remember. And then I top stitched the seam down so it lay nice and flat. Okay, so now you're going to sew the channels for your elastic. You can use a wide elastic and then you only need one channel, but I had, because I used the bedsheet elastic, it was narrower. So I wanted to do two. So there's two channels here. So I did one channel all the way around the waistband and another channel all the way around the waistband. And then this one is left so that it looks kind of like paper bag pants. Okay, so then you're going to insert your elastic. You're going to put it through there. This is a safety pin that you can use to pull the elastic through. And then once it's pulled through, you are going to finish or stitch the elastic together. I usually just zigzag it. You can just go back and forth quite a lot like this with your straight stitch. That holds it together as well. And then see this little opening, you're going to hand sew that closed or stitch in the ditch. And then one more thing, you get to hem your pants. So when you hem your pants, then you're done. Super easy, eh? So my daughter loves these. It's like a cozy hug on a cold winter's night. Anyway, remember, head over to my website, grab the PDF. The downloadable PDF, it will be on the programs page of my website. And that way you have these directions right beside you as you try to make these pants.